Thanks for joining us here on RT International. A Palestinian woman set off her explosive device after being stopped at a checkpoint in the West Bank. She was seriously wounded. A nearby road officer also received some injuries. Let's show you some of the latest pictures you're looking at right now. It's the first suicide bomb attempt during current tensions in the region. It comes after the Israeli Prime Minister mobilized reserve border police in a move to boost security. And earlier, an Israeli airstrike on Gaza killed a Palestinian woman who was 5 months pregnant and her 3-year-old daughter. The IDF claims it was targeting Hamas weapon sites in response to rocket fire from the area. Also in Gaza, at least 7 Palestinians were killed during protests on Friday. Israeli soldiers killed 2 more, this time teenagers, during clashes on Saturday. The latest Palestinian deaths from the Israeli airstrike bring the total number to 11 in the enclave since the start of the month. Let's get more now. Our Middle East correspondent, Paula Sleer, now joining us live here on the program. Paula, good morning to you. With Israel launching airstrikes on Gaza, some are wondering how close are we to a major confrontation?
Well, certainly the tensions on the ground are escalating, and the Hamas leadership is calling for a strengthening of the Palestinian Intifada, or uprising, as a way, they say, to liberate Gaza. Those comments coming from the Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh. Now, it comes as the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu approves the calling up of hundreds of border police. Netanyahu says that the country is in the midst of a wave of terror that will be defeated methodically. Early this morning, Sunday, a pregnant Palestinian woman and her 3-year-old daughter were killed in an Israeli airstrike over Gaza. It followed the firing of 3 rockets from Gaza into southern Israel overnight, and those rockets were intercepted by the Iron Dome anti-missile defense system. We're hearing that some 5 Gazans were killed yesterday in clashes along the Israel-Gaza border fence between Palestinian protesters and Israeli border police and soldiers, bringing to 11 the number of Gazans who have been killed since the latest wave of violence erupted. Now, the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is insisting that Palestinians will not be dragged into another round of violence with Israel. Instead, what he says is happening is popular resistance on the ground.
All right, RT's Paula Sleer. Thank you. And in the meantime, all too often, journalists themselves are getting caught up in the violence.
بهذه الأثناء
that was our Lebanese-based TV correspondent Hannah Mahamid, just after she was hit by a stun grenade. We had a chat with her about exactly what happened.
I was reporting on the public reaction to the situation in Jerusalem after a series of Israeli police attacks on civilians in the Holy City. A crowd gathered outside the house of a Palestinian who had been killed earlier, and security forces launched stun grenades to disperse them. One of the stun grenades went off to my left. I got 1st and 2nd degree burns on one side of my face and on my neck. My left ear is injured as well, and now I have hearing problems.
An Israeli police spokeswoman has commented on this, saying, quote, "Whoever is present with law-breaking rioters risks getting injured." In the meantime, an RT crew captured the following video of IDF soldiers in Ramallah. As we show it to you, you can see a man is dragged along the ground and then repeatedly kicked. Now, one of the attackers is dressed as a Palestinian stone thrower. They are then joined by more men also dressed as Palestinians with their weapons drawn. They are in fact undercover IDF soldiers infiltrating the protesters to help make arrests. A video of the same group was posted on Facebook by an Israeli military spokesman. The description of the clip says it shows the arrest of Palestinians by members of a special IDF unit. And we asked Dimitri Diliani from the Palestinian Revolutionary Council how these undercover agents operate.
This unit, we call them death squads. They were established before the establishment of the State of Israel, and they were often part of Jewish terror groups. We counter them all the time. What they do is usually they come in, they go in groups within certain protests. They start inciting. Usually they wear larger clothes to hide their guns. They look Arabs. They speak Arabic with a local accent. And once they start the incitement, usually they get people to come closer to clashes with the Israeli occupying forces. And right then they grab him. Sometimes they shoot him. Sometimes they just grab him and arrest him. Part of their job, not only extrajudicial murders, but also entrapment. They do use their weapons against the protesters that they incited before, and they do cause some deaths. In a way, this unethical unit is basically killing machines that target civilians.
On Thursday, the mayor of Jerusalem, a former military officer, encouraged anyone that had a gun license to carry a weapon. Twitter was then flooded by reposts of the mayor with a gun in the Arab Quarter. We asked Amir Oren, senior correspondent for the Haaretz newspaper, whether the move is justified given the growing violence in that area.
There's a sense of panic almost, and definitely of personal insecurity in Israel today. It is as if an epidemic has broken out, and it's almost a horror movie, the return of the body snatchers. People feel that wherever they walk, in every town or city, they could be attacked. And what you just cited from the mayor of Jerusalem is one response, probably not the best thought of, because obviously if people start shooting around, innocent civilians will also be hurt, and cooler heads should prevail.
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism.